wanted to just do a little session for the boys on cutting and for you guys as well. So I've kind of explored cutting, I'd say, the past year, 2 years more than I ever have before. One of the things that made me think about cutting a lot or how best to utilise it was a few things. Went to Nationals a couple of years ago and we played a quarterfinal game. It was a tough quarterfinal. We had a last round game in overtime. We lost on the tip in. Everybody's a bit down. We're still the second seed. We go through to play the third seed. Now the third seed is a big country, coached by Jared Hillier, who runs, I think it's Werribee Basketball Association down in Victoria. And that game was death by 1,000 cuts. And I remember just thinking about his program or about Victoria country in general, which still holds true, how fantastic they were at cutting on penetration. And what I sort of deemed having crunch time cuts, okay? So I would deem a crunch time cut as being one of those cuts where, as a coach, one of your players out of nowhere makes a fantastic cut behind somebody else, lays it up in the fourth quarter, and in your head you're like, wow, I had nothing to do with that, but I wish we could get more of those, okay? And so it was trying to find a way to teach those crunch time cuts, doesn't mean they all occur in crunch time, and provide a pathway for athletes to see the benefit in understanding cutting and delving into what I sort of deem sort of role expansion. So a lot of the things we do in basketball revolve around sort of role specificity, So you're thinking like we might have a 5-man, we might have a 4-man, 3-2, point guard, whatever, and that person has a role on the team. Now, I'm a big advocate for role expansion, so it doesn't mean that every team can do it, but letting your 5 bring the ball up once or twice, you know, maybe a year in certain games where you have the advantage. Maybe your point guard's great at posting up, but we're expanding the roles beyond the traditional, you run the team, you hit the block, you don't shoot. And what we've gravitated towards is everybody can shoot, okay? Now, obviously that's wonderful, we have to let everybody shoot, but sometimes in that crunch time scenario, we need to provide another pathway, and I think cutting allows for role expansion without simply giving everybody the green light. So when we're talking about cutting, we can basically select someone who's a terrible shooter. We've given them a fantastic role. You can be an elite cutter. And I can't remember his last name, but there's an import who plays for the Sutherland men's NBL 1 team, Brian Williams. Something or other. He's on the season like 0 from 3, okay? But he is an elite cutter. He's a fantastic athlete. And so you can't really ignore him like you might think you can if he's a non-shooter, because as soon as you turn your head, he's on the rim, he's dunking it, he's finished at the rim. Likewise, if we have someone who's a terrible ball handler, okay, doesn't matter. We teach them how to be an elite cutter, and all of a sudden they've found like a role on offense that suits their skill ability while they're developing that ball handling. Do we have a bad athlete? Someone who's not quick at beating people off the dribble? That's all right. We teach them how to seek space, how to cut to the rack when someone's got their back to them, all those sorts of things. So cutting provides like a tangible pathway for that athlete or that non-athlete or that non-shooter or that shooter to add something to their game that I think sometimes is overlooked. So hopefully we'll do a few things here today. I'm going to try get it in as quickly as I can in 45 minutes, so forgive me if I look at this a couple times. So cutting, unlike other skills, is not done in isolation. So when we're working on ball handling, like we're working on ball handling, but cutting involves 2 things a lot of the time. Someone want to give me one thing that cutting involves? Just one. You'll make SVP straight away if you answer right. Communication, there's one. Something else? Simpler. Getting to a spot. Getting to a spot. Okay, so getting to a spot. So if we're breaking down some H things, we have getting to a spot. But if we think about it, we've got to put the ball in. So we've got finishing. Okay, we've got to get the ball to the person cutting by doing what? Okay, so passing as well. So we've got to build the skill set up, and that's why cutting's so important. So when we're working on shooting, often we might tie in cutting, but it's shooting in isolation, it's ball handling in isolation. We can't have a great cut without a great pass, okay? We can't have a great pass without a great cut. If we have a fantastic pass when everybody stands still, the two are going to get bogged down together. So that's really what we're trying to work on here. So the first thing we're going to tackle is we're going to tackle the passing side of cutting. So, boys, what I want you to do, can you grab a partner for me? I think there'll be one group of 3. So stand up with a partner and go get one basketball between the 2 of you. And let's do it ASAP. Quick, go. Jump up, grab with anyone. Alright, out on the floor, let's go. So I need 1 pair. You two, that's one. One here, one this. Okay, alright. Someone else can go down and do exactly the same thing at that key. The rest of you go grab cones and make a rectangle. There's 4 of them all ready for you. So go make a rectangle roughly the size of the key anywhere you want. Okay, you got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, so in developing cutting and developing the passes of cutting, alright? Often we'll all coach people, some dribble like this non-stop, some have like a fantastic feel for the basketball and can go a little slower, go a little faster. So we want to provide small-sided games that allow for that passing. So you've probably done this one before, basketball, tennis, okay? So all you have to do is have a rectangle, alright? And we've got one player with the basketball, and we're trying to get it outside the key, above our opponent's knees, but below their shoulder. And we have to throw a bounce pass. Alright? And when you get it, you have to throw it right. So if I'm going to throw it right to you, good. And my only rule is you're not allowed to touch it with your hands. Okay? Good. Alright? So I look that way and throw it that way. Okay? So we're going to go for 1 minute. Okay? If you haven't started yet, good. Use the key. Excellent. Okay? Great job. We're going to go first to 3. Okay? You can't touch it with 2 hands. Think about how you can gain an advantage. Ready, set, go. Once you got 3, go out 3. Good, behind the key line. Make sure you stay behind the key line. Excellent, good next dribble. There's the point, good. First to 3. There's another point, good job. Get 3, get out 3. Alright, 10 seconds. Here's somebody who gets 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. Alright, so relating this to where we're looking at cutting. Okay? Sometimes as I'm attacking the basketball, alright, the goal of the kick, I'm trying to take it to the ring. The ability to hold the point in my hand for a little bit. Okay, before I hit, now I'm going to make it tight as a center. Instead of picking it up with 2 hands. And as you can see, what a lot of the guys are doing there is, when they get the ball back, instead of doing it straight away, it falls in my hand, now I'm going to throw it, okay? Get it back, falls in my hand, now. What else did some of you do to try and get an advantage with these? Look the opposite direction, okay? Who's a great player in the NBA who looks the opposite direction all the time and pick and roll? Who? Okay, LaMelo. I said great player, but that's alright, yeah. Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, all these guys. Okay, so this game just provides an open avenue. I didn't say before the exercise started, hey, let's look with our eyes and try and be deceptive, and a bunch of them just went in and said, right, no one's good, I'm looking up where okay. Alright, next one we've got. You must do a through the legs or a behind the back before you make the pass. Okay, so if I get a pass from here straight away, I'm going to bounce through the legs, and I'm going to go behind the back and through the legs. Now I'm going to control a little bit more, still use my eyes. Ready? 3, you ready? Let's go! So again, trying to simulate a game scenario as best we can. Alright? They've got to control the basketball, they've got to make an aggressive, on-target pass. Just as if they were driving into the 3-point line, they've got to protect the ball, and they've got to make an aggressive, on-target pass. control your basketball. So now every time you get the ball, you need to dribble around. I just need you guys to put one of your toes outside the edge of your feet, so we'll start like this. Okay, I'm going to dribble around my toe, and before I make my pass out touch number 2, I put through my legs behind my back. You've got to control, take, you're going to go around, attack by bringing it here. Alright, good. Straight into my bounce. Again, behind my back, push this way, throw it that way. Good. First 3, here we go. Another 30 seconds. Here we go, moving into this teaching point a little bit more in depth later, and when we talk about cutting, we want to talk about opposites, alright? And for the most part, I think, doesn't mean it's correct at all, that the best cuts come opposite drives, for 2 reasons, okay? When the ball is opposite me, the defense, most of the time, if they're elite, has to have their head on the swivel. If they're not elite, so junior basketball all the time, their shoulders will be turned a bit, and I can be what I call playing in the shadows, okay? So I'm playing in the shadows behind, but we can't stay in the shadows forever. I need to start in the shadow and finish in the window. And by window, I just mean this is not the window. My teammate can't see me. So in this exercise, all we're looking for is, as you dribble around, you've got to face the ball around this exercise. So 2 shots on the basket. Good. Alright? Let's move to the window. Bang, make a pass. You're just trying to get the deflection as best as you can. I'm going around, and you're going to face me again. Alright? Good. Okay? You can get a deflection or slide. We good? So the defender is only allowed to look at the basketball. Go for it. Okay? Okay? Excellent. Control the ball. Where are we? Good? Alright, let's go. Take it to the 3. What do you want to do? Good. Just go for the slide. Okay? Here we go. 30 seconds. Let's go. Come on, let's get out. Let's go. Go for it, go. Get it to play, get it up. Oh, go, touch your hand. Go. Good. Good. Use your eyes to take out the center. Excellent. Alright, good. Rotate. Rotate out the defense. Good. So straight away you can see here, like, nobody is really dribbling in at a million miles an hour and out of control. Everybody's coming in a little slow, having a look, and if you think about the best people at pick and roll, the best people at attacking the rim, they're never sped up. But if you think about when the kids play, or adults, alright, we drive in at 100 miles an hour. So we're trying to develop this ability to be dynamic. Okay, and that's one of the other major teaching points of cutting. How can I be dynamic? What does dynamic mean? Changing pace, changing speed all the time. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold there. If you bought a drink, have a quick sip, I'll high five 2 people, and just come back over here. Okay, so for the most part, they did a fantastic job of going a little bit slower. Who, hands up real quick, boys, if you managed to fake someone out with your eyes. Okay? Excellent. Okay, great job. Alright, so thinking about, and I know Peter Lonergan, the Director of Coaching in Australia, talks heaps about the power of 3. I struggled to get this down to 3, but I've managed to, much to my dismay. Alright, so with our cutting, okay, be dynamic, number 1, alright? Instead of saying cut hard, okay, what does that mean? Cut hard. Like, I think the example was given in another clinic, like stamp my feet really hard, like what does that mean? Okay, it's like if you tell a 6-year-old to dribble with their fingertips, they do this, okay, like literal learners. So again, be dynamic with our cuts. So change of speed, change of direction, change of pace, and being dynamic, we're also referring to entry speed of the cut and exit speed of the cut, all right? So if I enter slow, do I need to exit really quickly? Do I need to slow down and post up and then exit? What do I need to do with my speed of the cut? Next thing is commit to the cut, all right? Now, he's never going to watch this, which is fine. I have a NBL1 import who's amazing. He's fantastic. I hope he comes back if he does see this. But he's a dancer on cuts, all right? And by commit to the cut, no dancing, all right? So who's throwing a backdoor pass at their teammates on this side? And it's been a turnover, okay? What did you say to them? Did anybody say rule number 1 is what? Never fake backdoor. Awesome, you're all answering fake. Okay, right? Never fake backdoor. So when we talk about cutting, commit to the cut, okay? What's the worst thing that can happen? You cut through and you don't get it, okay? As opposed to, I'm kind of halfway cut here, I'm dancing, I'm going side to side, the person with the ball's like, mate, you're open. I'm like, what's going on here? So commit to the cut, super important. And we can use language to assist in helping them decide when to commit to the cut. So 2 of my important language things that I have, and they're not perfect by any means, is see a back, cut to the rack. So all that looks like, can you stand it for me, buddy? You do defense, okay? You go out offense. And we'll put this in a drill in a second. Jared, how are we going time?
You've got under half an hour.
Okay, alright. So, I'm going to basketball, so okay? As we attack the basket here, say you're going to play behind me, good, I'm kind of going to hit, pause there. Often what we're going to get is this defender send it back, alright, as we're playing in the shadows here, like so. Okay, so we can stay and be a shooter, there's nothing wrong with that, but if we see it back, alright, we can make it dynamic up to the rack. Now, of course, if our ball handler isn't dynamic, we said we don't operate in isolation and you go too fast, you might get a charge, you might throw a turnover, but if you can hold it and keep your dribble alive, and what might you do to make him think that I'm still there? You got it. Okay, you just did it before a million times, right? Okay, so see it back, cut to the rack, go for it. You might look that way, okay, and all of a sudden you're in the draft. Okay, we're good? So that's what we're looking for with see it back, cut to the rack. Now, opposite to that, okay, see a face, stay in space, okay? This is not perfect because if he's really asleep and you just face cut him, you're probably going to get 2 points as well. So grey areas and cutting all over the place. But general rule in junior basketball that if someone was guarding you like this, okay, and you go to cut, I'll probably be there to beat you as best I can, okay? We good? So see it back, cut to the rack, see it face, stay in space. So whatever terms you might come up with, like that's your language that you can use to help them, remember, help them commit to the cut or not commit to the cut, okay? And last thing we talked about before, balance of opposites. So again, I'm driving someone opposite here, I'm driving from the 45, the defender might face me, and as we said, we start in the shadows, but we finish in the window so we can get a catch, okay? All right, now after the cut, what do we have to do once we get the basketball? You've just cut, what? Finish, okay, we have to finish. So again, not in isolation, so we've got to work on our finishing. So what we're going to do is, can I get 2 lines up here on the 45, everybody? Alright, now we're going to grab 1 and 2, and you go to the baseline, and you can do a basketball. Alright, so just some super quick cutting and finishing drills. We're going to split you guys. Half you go that side first. Right, you guys are on the baseline, front of the ring. We're just going to be passing them. Okay? Alright? Okay, and let's go start on the sideline. Start on the sideline. Alright, when I say go, you're both going to run around your cone and attack the ring. You just pass it to one person. You stand fine, but you want to pass it to one. Okay, you're going to hit it, you're losing the pass. Okay. Don't know who's going to get it, don't know who has to do this one. Ready, go! Good. Good, next group. Next group, go. So you're going to catch it too easy. Next group, go. Yeah. Try to block the other person, try to get it, go. Try to get it, pick it up. Check. Nice, good. Three passes, stay here, go. Excellent. Just it out. Very close. Go. Next group, go. You've got to run hard. Good. Good. Alright, you need to go to the line, Jack. You go. So again, often we park the groups right there, like the help defenders right there. So we can have constraints, which is obviously really common these days. Alright, left hand only. Go. Right hand pitches only. So we can challenge them to find a way. You can throw through. Oh, left hand only. Next up. Here we go. Good job, guys. Now there's obviously a million variations we can do here. So we get through everything, we won't do them all. We'll do one more to simulate a baseline putt and a 45 putt. The other thing we can do is make it more challenging on the passer. Okay, just like that. Okay, passing. You now, you do the entire time. Okay, you pass the other way. Same deal, start doing now. You go on the side, through your legs, before you pass, just like before. Good, left hand over, here we go. Left hand over, left hand over. Good, right, good. Very good. Right, find the way. Excellent job. Last one. There you go. Okay, awesome job. High five, through big. Well done. Okay. Alright, so next thing we can do now, two cuts I'm going to focus on today. So the second cut. Okay, so what's the second cut? Some people probably call it like a baseline cut or a backdoor cut. Okay, can you jump out there? Alright, try a bit of basketball. Alright, the second cut from out and not come up this third, okay, is as penetration happens towards the middle, the opposite to the strong side corner. So technically it's currently the weak side corner, but as I approach that corner it becomes a strong side corner, to second cut along the baseline. Alright? Okay, and then we can hit that person, we can finish. So what we're going to do right now for the boys is we're going to script the defense. So we're going to give the defense two options. Alright, and then we want our offensive player to make a readout. Okay? So we're going to get a line here. Can I get a line in the corner? Any basketball we got, let's go up here. You've got any line more. I'll be the defender for the moment. Okay? So if anybody remember what our two phrases were for deciding whether to commit to the cut? Yeah, or? Excellent, okay, good. So we're going to drive. You can do it if you want, but let's just hang around the elbow of penetration. So don't get any deeper than the free throw line. Okay, good. You can keep dribbling, you can pick it up, whatever. Defense is going to do one or two things. What I mean by script is we're going to give them the answers. They're not going to make it up themselves. So as the offensive player drives, I'm going to do two things. Okay, you do what? Excellent, good decision. Next up, here we go. Good. Now, wait in the corner there, stay space. We would play one-on-one right now. Okay, so if the ball does get kicked to the corner, you and I are going to play one-on-one. Go for it, here we go. Alright, got it. Okay, alright. Next one, up, here we go. Good, next one up, here we go. Good, everybody's taking their time up here, which is good. Oh, watch the defender. Okay? Kick stroke turnovers, we always go, oh, what are you watching? Okay? So here, they're actually working on what's going to kick off. Good. Excellent, good job. Okay, so we're going to make this slide. You go over there for me. Good. Alright. One defender in the middle. Okay, so we're going to go 2-on-1 out of the second putt. You can do whatever you want. There's only one defender. You can score as well. So you're attacking the score. You can stay space, but you can cut. You've got freedom here. Okay? Just remember our teaching point. Be dynamic. Change your pace. Okay? Commit to the cut. Start in the shadows, finish in the window. Okay, we ready? Alright, go for it. Here we go. Good hands. Here we go, guys. Turn it over and you streak, you cover the defender. Ready, go! Wait. Excellent. Shoot it, stay. Alright. Next up, here we go. Right up. Finish strong. Okay. Don't go out of the pool. Go. Oh, yeah, pretty right. Good. Happens to the game. Get forward. Good. Next up, go. Good. No, Walker. Excellent. Good. Defender ready. Go. Okay, one pass over to now. Go. So just adding things in to make it a little bit more challenging. So not allowed to dribble. So now all of a sudden, notice how no one here is just like flat out lifting out of the corner and doing nothing. They're like, oh, well, I better wait to see if I shoot or cut here. Okay? Wide open shot, good job. Next slide. Wide open play, good, next slide. See if we can put on something a little bit more creative. Catch and shoot. Good. Next slide. We've got 2 more, move on. Good pass right. Last one. Okay. Alright. Okay, so that's our second part. So that usually happens on middle penetration. And I promise you, if you are the opposing coach that it happens to, you'll look at your opponent and be like, oh, how can you let that happen? But if we're being honest, and we're talking about the shadows, like, that's what happens when we're opposite. Okay, so we're achieving opposite cuts, balance of opposites. If you're going slow, you should probably go really fast. If you're going really fast, you should probably go a little bit slow and see what we're going to do, okay? Next one we have is our 45 cut. I call it a LeBron cut. Other people call it a Brad Newman cut. Other people call it a Dwayne Wade cut. Let's see, you guys know what Alright, we'll throw some more defenders in just to show you why it happens. Can I get one more offensive player in the bottom? Let's make it one. You got white, just so it's less confusing. Cool. Can I get 3 guards players, please? Matched up. Alright, so like a curve. That's right. You can go. Okay? Alright, so we'll build back the group just so you can understand where the LeBron part occurs. I just yell out LeBron. I'm a LeBron guy, even though he's full sometimes. Okay? But I just yell out LeBron 3 times and any baseline drive. Again, lane reach to try and help that person realise. So often when we beat our player baseline, just get quick for me for a second. Okay, who's going to step up and help? Your natural reaction, depending on what team you play for, of course, is to sit. I'm just going to tell you that it is. Okay? Alright? And so often we're left with this window. Okay, we started in the shadow, we're left with this window where if I'm not a good shooter, bang, I can hit this guy. Now, this talks about what is a cut. A cut is just, if you want to get similar, an off-ball movement that gets an advantage for me or who else? My teammate, yeah, me or my teammate, okay? So if you don't stop me, I'm going to get away. Yeah, good, so go stop me. Sacrificial cut, who's one over now? Okay, you're railing in the ball, bang. Alright? So again, anything or any trigger, okay, any movement move off the basketball, that creates an advantage. Now, if we go by that definition, we can't create an advantage with dancing pass or halfway pass. We've got to commit hard, if I get it, exit, speed out the other side, or wherever I go, and we get something else over, okay? So let's just go through that slow, we'll walk through. So just get the baseline, let's step up and help us think. Maybe we keep that ankle right there through. Okay, so that's how we're going that we're talking about, right? So let's bring our lines back up here. Just like we did before, stand around the ring, all start over there. You've got one rule, you must 5 over 10. Okay, ready, go! Good, ready, big dynamic, next one, go! Good, now let's have the kids move right up there. Good defense, shoot up, step up early, excellent, next on, next up. Figure it out. Let's get it over. Good, like it look like. Screw it, hold up flat. Next one in here. Oh, let's get it drop. Good, stay. Outside, up in. Good, next up. Right line. Okay, pass. I don't know what to do here. Figure it out, go. Good, next up. Much more good as you're going to shoot. Sorry about that. Good. Alright, 2 more rounds. There we go. Alright, here we go. Okay. So, let's, how many dark we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we should be fine. Alright, so this next one, I call it talent 4 and 4. I don't know why, I just feel like when things sound European, they sound cooler, like in coaching, because they seem to know what they're doing over there. Okay? And we'll start with 1 punch on. Give me 4 dark on defense. 4 dark on defense. Just so we're this is the only person that right. This one, we're going to get on, okay? Alright, 4 lights on offense, just spread out around the crew up. Think like 2 seams or 2 rings. Okay, so this would be like the core drill I have. The core small-sided game core exercise. Okay? Alright? It's non-stop, it's loser's ball, and there's going to be stacks of turnovers. Stacks of mess. Alright? But I guess I'm a massive believer in more and more I coach. Less of me, and I know I'm doing this a lot tonight, but less of me talking, just more reps. I do believe that if a kid turns it over once, twice, 20, 30, 40 times, something's eventually going to click. Okay? They're eventually going to go, oh, actually, right? Now, me stopping it after the first turnover actually does nothing. I think it actually does nothing. I might say, you know, while the game's going, just like watch out for that pass or look at that next time or what do you see? But for the most part, we're going to get more. Okay, so non-stop, loose ball, you're going to sit and chill for a second. You get to, oh, you're on the ball. Are you ready? Great, excellent. Okay. Offense, you're going to go around the green cone. You've got to go around the blue cone. So we're in advantage the entire time. Okay, so defense, if you don't do something here, Jake's going to go and get a wide open lane. We're good and we'll see what happens. Try and remember our rules. Commit to a cut. Okay? Be dynamic, you included. Losers ball, so blue, if they miss and you get the rebound, or they score and you get the rebound, one of you dribbles around the green cone again, whichever way you want. White, one of you has to chase around the blue cone and follow. Are we good? I was doing that before, so they'll do it. Alright. He can go around that way, but he might. Go, good, you can start the first. Go! Let's play for a minute. Let's do it out. Bring it out. Go. Good. Go for 5, 4, 3, all right. Push ball, go. Go. Hey, wait. for it. Go. Hurry up. Go. So we're going to keep on top. What are we looking at? Go. So here we're like setting up an environment where the second cut can take place. Now, I'm not saying they have to cut. We can say that every goal, but we want to get it spaced out quick. Excellent. We're like getting like organic, if you want to use that word, like organic quick to texture. Round the Great punch. Okay, all set. Excellent. Right, so we've got a cut. Stop. Everybody else get a cut. One. Okay, good. So let's keep score. You need to try to grab one. Okay. Here you go, guys. Let's grab this one. Alright? So, what have we got to do a little bit better on the transition so when we get comments and defense? Talk yet? Spacing. Okay, so cutting, awesome. Passing, finishing, timing, spacing. It operates on all these things as opposed to other skills which are like we talked about, just like isolated in themselves. Okay, so when that transition happens, just like you would in the game, you sprint the lane as hard as you can. In this exercise, we've got to get to the corner, we've got to get to the 45, we've got to get here. Okay, good. We'll go first team of 4. If you get a cut, if you score off a cut, which we'll classify as scoring without bouncing on a cut, you get 4. Okay, so game over. If you get a cut and score, that's game over. Alright, let's see what happens. Here we go. Good, one more, go. We got big again. Come on. Bring down. Get 4 points. If you cut right, you get 4 points. 4 points. 4 points. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 5 ball, go, 1, 2. 4 points, score the cut. 4 points, score the cut. Okay, excellent. Okay, great shot, alright? What kind of cut did you say? You know what it's called? Starts with 2, ends in, starts with second, and ends in second. Second cut. Okay, alright. Second cut, right, back door, that might be your program, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's adjust it now for the front cut, or the 45 cut. All we're going to do is, we're going to pick your hands up, okay? We're just going to adjust it here. Again, same deal. Who cares about out of bounds right now? Number 1, they can go middle with their right hand, which they'll probably do all the time. Start this side so you're doing that. Or they can go left from the back. Now again, someone's got to help. Someone's got to help. Maybe this person helps and the defender goes up and you're open for second cut opposite the ball. But remember, we said like balance is opposite. So if you go as fast as you can, you might need to just stay spaced. If this player takes their time, you might speed cut to the rim. Okay, ready? We'll go first to 5, cut to 4. Go. Both sides. Okay, over the right side. Go! One. Let's go. Down and go. Here we go. 4 points for cut. 4 points for cut. 4, 2. Next 5, 3. I'm still figuring it out. Sorry. Okay? So I call it a traffic jam. Alright? My general rule on a traffic jam, which works better for senior players, is best shooter, get out as fast as you can. Alright? Better rebounder, stay in if you end up with a traffic jam. Okay? So that's going to happen sometimes. But we do have 3 players being super aggressive. Okay? To get to the basketball, hunt the basketball. Maybe if you send 4 or 5 to the glass, that works for you really well as well. Alright? And currently, like one of the best teams in NBL 1 men is Maitland. That's what they do. They dominate in the paint. They dominate in the paint. Alright? Okay, last one we've got before we go. Of course, if we wanted to make it really wild, we'll put the codes up here as well. If it's too easy with 2 codes, just get rid of 1. And just make it both people just run around 1 code. We can have the 45 codes so that players can choose, and then the cutting becomes a decision. Do I second cut? Do I LeBron cut? Do I just space and shoot? Okay? So the last one we're going to do here, alright, right, your ball. Okay? Ball start over here. Alright? Can you get rid of that blue? Get rid of the green blue. Get rid of that red. Okay, we're going to start off the ball. Alright? So now, our advantage comes immediately from a cut. You're going to run around this thing, you're going to ball in that. Great, so. Okay, good, so. We've immediately got a cut. This is also fantastic for defensive rotations. If that's the thing, you can use this exercise for that too. What are you probably going to do? Awesome. Maybe that's open now. Okay? Maybe it helps with that. I don't know if it helps. Ready? Let's go again. You're live. So I'm going to change the position. Dribble the ball out to the 3-point line. 1 teammate, switch around the code for a cutting again. Ready, go! Excellent. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, yes, good control. Good dynamic. Good play. Go, go, go. Go. Also, we got Casey. Bang, go. Go, 4-0. Go. Okay, so just putting them in scenarios where they can like naturally figure out the passes and the cuts there. Do I throw it? Do I turn it over? Whatever it might be, okay? I know we sort of sped through that, but just for the last like maybe 1-2 minutes, that Jared? 3 minutes, cool. Okay, does anybody have any questions in regards to cutting? No? Cool, okay, so again, I had a training last Friday night with the under 18 girls team. Had planned heaps of stuff, okay? We played one game of Italian 4-4, we played another one. I'm like, okay, let's move on. The team that lost 2-0 is like, no. Like, we want to play more. So we just ended up doing that for an hour and 20 minutes, best of 7, okay? And again, minimal chat from me, grabbing people on the side, but they're making all the decisions, they're figuring it out. All we did was swap between Hunt against the advantage and ball handler has the advantage, and you pretty much simulate what you're trying to achieve in every single basketball game, every possession. Beat a player somehow, and then make a good decision. Okay? Alright, thanks so much guys, appreciate it. Boys.